All right, yo, welcome to the 18th episode of the SlashMMR podcast, man. We're back again. First Saturday of the month. We out here, and yeah, man. It's currently October. It's spooky month. Halloween coming up. Even though I'm from Europe and we don't really celebrate it here. I mean, maybe some European countries do. I mean, at least not really where I live in the Netherlands. But we do actually have like kind of a replacement for it. We have like this thing called Sid Maarten. It's on November 11th, so it's kind of similar. You also go like trick or treating, kind of. But yeah, we don't celebrate like actually like Halloween or something. But still, though, it is still spooky month in most of the world. So hey, Halloween coming up. It's just kind of a cool month. Anyway, let's get into the topics today, man. First thing we need to talk about today is P Diddy. Okay, the P Diddy situation is crazy. Okay, I mean it's probably the biggest news story of the past, not even just this month. It's kind of like the past few months, really. It's already been like kind of talked about. But right now, Diddy actually got arrested. For those who don't know who Diddy is, I mean, everyone should probably know him at this point. He's been in the the music industry for like well over 3 decades at this point. So over 30 years, he's been in the music industry, and yeah, he owned a big label, which the Notorious B.I.G., the rapper, was part of, and yeah, he basically got arrested for his Diddy parties. Okay, this is some wild shit, but it kind of exposes the dark truth of certain industries, like the music industry. So a lot of these industries, with also like Hollywood, there's a lot of stuff about Hollywood that's kind of in a similar vein as this, but there's a lot of people with a lot of money. We've seen Epstein also like a couple years ago get caught in similar stuff like this because these Diddy parties, involved a lot of non unconsensual sexual acts and also like a lot of minors apparently. So Diddy apparently is a pedophile and also a sexual abuser, among other things. So yeah, he got arrested this month. This has already been going like this story has already kind of been building up for in this year. I saw there were some Diddy posts for a couple months, but now he's actually gotten arrested. First they were just like allegations, but now they actually got like real evidence on him. But yeah, apparently these Diddy parties, and Diddy's acts have already been like pretty known for like ever since the 90s. Like most people, like a lot of people already knew about this stuff, especially because there's in these Diddy parties there were a lot of celebrities. Okay, like a lot of celebrities. So obviously people knew what was up, all right. But somehow it took 30 years to actually take him down, and arrest him, which I don't know why it took so long. And actually, I'm not really sure why it suddenly came out because it's been known for like a long time. There's not publicly. But now we know everything. Oh well, we know a lot. So yeah, so he got arrested for hosting these parties where people got drugged. So, even celebrities got drugged, and then also recorded without them knowing. So he has like a lot of like videos, like various celebrities doing various freaky things, I guess. And these freak offs are basically like just crazy orgies and shit. And it's just a wild story, bro. And once again, as I said, it really does expose like the dark truth of these industries. The music industry is what this is about, but it's also like Hollywood has a lot of these things as well. But as just like I said with Epstein too, just rich people sometimes have these crazy things that we don't even know about, but just rich people know that amongst each other. And it's dark, like I said. And one of the craziest things to come out of this situation is, so they raided his home. The police raided his home, and they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil in his home. Okay, so that is certainly something. That is a very interesting detail, and that's really something that people have been talking about lots. And even his lawyer had to answer like a couple questions about that. And his lawyer his lawyer really tried defending that like really hard because it's just too dumb, bro. I mean, 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and his lawyer was like, man, I don't know if it's 1,000. Well, it is 1,000, man. They literally, the police went in his home, and that's what they found. And he's just like kind of like trying to play the lawyers, trying to like play it off, kind of. It's just really dumb. But yeah, once again, a lot of celebrities have a history with Diddy. We even have like clips like LeBron James saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." So I mean, I don't know what LeBron knows. I don't know how involved LeBron James has been with any of these things, but there's definitely certain celebrities, who people are kind of looking differently at right now. Questioning their involvement as far as these Diddy parties go with these freak offs. And currently, Diddy actually just got hit with like 120 new allegations, 120 different victims, of which 25 are saying that they were minors at the time. So yeah, they literally just got drugged, sexually abused, and when they were minors by in these Diddy parties, I guess. So Diddy, man, is a very crazy guy, apparently. And suddenly everything's coming out. Like I said, like it's absolutely insane. All this information and stuff, and yeah, the celebrities are being exposed, man. And there's a lot of names on the list. That's because, of course, you also had the what the fuck's it called? The Epstein flight list, so we could see like who went to Epstein's island, where he also had like kids and stuff, and did also very bad things with those individuals. And they leaked the flight list, and so we actually saw who all went there and not. And there's also apparently a lot of lists of these Diddy parties, and the people that are like persecuting him. They said that the names will shock you. So that's that. And also Diddy has also been involved with murders. Apparently also he paid to get Tupac and Biggie killed. I don't know if he got both of them killed, but I'm pretty sure at least he did get Pac killed. For that, I think I read somewhere that he paid like $1 million. So I'm pretty sure he's involved with that. I'm not actually 100% sure if that's confirmed or not, but it's kind of like people know, but like I don't know if there's like proof. Okay, but it's very likely that he did do that, especially with all these new things coming out. The allegations are just building up, and Diddy might be cooked, man. Like he's definitely gonna stay in jail for quite a bit of time after this trial, unless he somehow beats the case. But I highly doubt it. Okay, there apparently is a lot of evidence. I mean, there's a lot of videos as well of these parties, and it might be over for him. And yeah, good if it's over him. Good, because if he's really like that, man, like that, it's not okay. And all these stories that I've been hearing about, his parties and shit, it is just crazy. It's absolutely insane. Anyways, next up, man, we got to talk about Nikocado Avocado, okay? Because this man, okay, I've spoken about him before in the I don't know if I did actually. No, I've spoken about Boogie, but not about Nikocado. But yeah, Nikocado Avocado was used to be in like 2018, like 2016, kind of that era. He used to be a pretty skinny vegan YouTuber, but then he started doing these mukbangs, which a mukbang is like when you basically just eat food on camera, and usually quite a big amount of food. And he really got obsessed with this stuff, and he got very fat. Okay, like obese. And people were scared for his health and stuff. And he just became completely crazy, okay? Seriously, like he went completely wild. And yeah, he did a lot of crazy things online. And he just went crazy, man. Like the amount of the videos he was posting, he also had like this very toxic relationship with some guy who was also in his videos. They did like mukbangs together. And they were just very toxic and throwing food at each other and stuff. It was very sad, bro, because he was really like mentally ill and just like very fat as well, and just kept eating more and more. And everyone was like on the internet like concerned about his health, and they just wanted him to like quit. Anyways, so as far as we were all concerned, Nikocado Avocado was still doing these things. He still posted videos every now and then. Suddenly, the same day that I posted my last what's it called? A podcast episode, September 7th. Later that same day, he suddenly posted a video on his channel where he suddenly was skinny, okay? He was suddenly skinny. He lost like, I forgot how much it was, like 250 pounds or something, I think. Maybe even more. And he suddenly was just skinny, okay? Just out of nowhere. And it's very interesting to see, of course, because he was still posting fat videos, mukbang videos where he was still fat a couple months ago. So the story apparently is that he pre-recorded a bunch of videos, And apparently, for the past 2 years, he's been on a weight loss journey, while fooling the entire internet that he's still fat and that he's still the same person. But apparently, just the 2 years on the background, he apparently lost all the fucking weight, and he's just normally healthy again right now, which is a really crazy fucking switch up. Because literally in a video from a few months ago, he was like he had like all those fucking pounds. He was still like obese, and now suddenly, a day later he's just normal again. And it is a crazy journey though. So shout out to Nikocado Avocado for, I guess, finally losing the weight and also listening to the people. Because people have been criticizing him for years and making fun of him, and he finally took matters in his own hands and became healthy again. So hey, the video did do very well, of course. I mean, people have been saying for years, because the thing that people thought was that Nikocado Avocado was doing all these mukbangs and all this eating because he thought that maybe it was the only thing his audience would want, and because of course he did make millions of views of it and also a lot of money, so maybe he just felt like he was like stuck in a cycle, and if he switched his content to something else, that he would like not pull as many views or get as much money from it. But a lot of people had been telling him in the comments for years now, just people would love to see like a weight loss journey. It would perform really well, and everyone would still support him no matter what. And that is definitely true, because his recent video, about him suddenly being skinny again, got 47 million views currently, and it's posted 4 weeks ago, almost a month ago, 47 million views in 1 month. That's pretty insane. It's his most viewed video too, by far, literally almost double. So definitely huge news, and glad that he's healthier again. Seems to be healthier and also in a better state of mind, which makes sense. If you lose all that weight, he's been working on himself for like really working hard on himself for like the past 2 years, apparently behind the scenes. It is really crazy though. Like, it really is a social experiment. That he even said it himself. Like, it has been a crazy thing to see, because of course people were still making fun of him every day for being fat and obese, even in these pre-recorded videos that he was still posting actively. So yeah, it really is insane though. But the reception of the new video with the weight loss has been very positive. So nothing but love from Nikocado Avocado, man. And I wonder what he's gonna do now though, because he actually has not posted since that video. I don't know what his plan is for the future. He did say he still likes doing mukbangs though. He still wants to continue in that field of content, I'm pretty sure. Because in that return video that he did, he also did a mukbang. So, I guess he's gonna continue doing that, but just on a way lower skill, I guess. So shout out to him, man. And that's really, really nice to see. Next topic. I want to talk about Flappy Bird real quick, man, because Flappy Bird actually, it came back all right, but it was kind of false advertising. So I suddenly saw on Twitter one day that Flappy Bird was making a return, and that's hype, okay? I mean, if you weren't there, then you weren't there, but I think most people do remember Flappy Bird. I feel like, man, really, in like a couple decades, that's really going to be like a thing of our generation, man. Like, all these newer generations won't know. Probably like, because Generation Alpha, it's like 2010, I think. No, actually, I think Generation Alpha starts like 2012 or 2010. Either way, like, those kids, like, they're not gonna remember this shit, bro. But it's like Flappy Bird is really like our thing, man. It was really hype. It was like 2014, I think, yeah. And I remember it very well, man. So Flappy Bird basically was like the biggest like game at the time for mobile, and everyone was playing it, man. It was super hype, and it was like on the news and shit. It was absolutely, it was huge, okay. But then the creator of the game actually randomly took it down because he just couldn't handle the stress anymore, I guess. Because he would literally, it was just a fun little project that he made, and it suddenly blew up completely. And once again, it took the world by storm, and everyone was playing it, everyone knew it, and I guess it just became all too much for him, and he literally just took it down. But suddenly, there was an announcement that Flappy Bird was coming back after 10 years, and it was going to be available to play again. And I was like, oh shit, that's bad. That's fucking cool, because honestly, that's probably one of the best mobile games of all time. And it's also very nostalgic, of course. So that would be great. But it turns out that somehow It was just also some false advertisement because the actual old owner of the game hadn't, because the game is technically coming back. Okay, there's like this sort of like a new version. It's like it's the same name, but it's not by the same person. So basically, what happened was the trademark that was on Flappy Bird apparently had expired, and some people discovered this and now are advertising, a re-release of this game as like the official one being back, even though it's not the official one and the original owner has nothing to do with it. It's just some people that found out that the trademark had expired, and now they're just taking over the fucking brand. I guess they can just do that, and apparently they're using it to advertise like crypto scams and stuff. So apparently, if you go on the app right now, it's like somehow connected to Bitcoin and NFTs. I'm pretty sure NFTs. I mean, yeah. So they kind of just like somehow they just managed to like take over the brand because the trademark expired, and take over Flappy Bird, and now it's used as like some fucking NFT scam, I guess. So that's kind of a fortunate legacy, for Flappy Bird. I mean, it was a great time, man. I mean, it really was like a time capsule because it literally got taken down, and people just couldn't play it anymore, even though it was still like at its peak. So it was just something that we remember from like that time, because it didn't go on afterwards. There was a couple like rip-offs and stuff, but of course nothing beats the original, which now is turned into some fucking NFT shit, which is not the same as the OG, okay? And it's not by the same person. Even the creator made a tweet about it, like, I got nothing to do with this with this re-release. I don't support any crypto things. So yeah, but those are some wild false advertising, but it did go viral, bro. So I guess people somehow did believe it at first, but now it's pretty much known. It's like it's not the same shit. Okay, it's just false advertising. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for that, man. It's sad to see Flappy Bird go down like that. But it is what it is. Now another thing here, I haven't really actually watched this, but there was also like a Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris debate. I didn't watch the full thing, but of course I did see some clips. Now, we also discussed the Donald Trump versus Joe Biden debate last time, which I saw a couple more clips of. But the Kamala Harris and Donald Trump debate was also kind of wild, okay? First of all, apparently, I mean, I don't even know, bro. Like, it's just a mess, okay? Like, these political debates right now are just literally like, almost like just like a show that we just put on to watch for like entertainment. It's not really any more about like like getting information or something, or like learning something. It's literally just like entertainment for me, I guess, because you just see these clips online. It's literally just like them going at each other or just saying random shit, and that is funny. Like everything just goes viral. Like there's not actually like any like real like good arguments or something made. I don't know. It just doesn't feel as much as like politics anymore. It just feels more like a show, in my opinion. That's just something that I see in all these debates. It just feels more like a fucking show to me than actual politics, because it is very funny. The most notable clip from this new debate was Donald Trump talking about people in Springfield, Ohio, I think it was, eating the dogs and cats. Which I don't know if that's true or not. Like, he's saying that there were like immigrants eating people's animals, and Kamala Harris gave him like a very weird look. He started like laughing, and that kind of went viral. I mean, very viral. Okay, they're eating the dogs, eating the cats, and went very viral. And yeah, Kamala Harris gave a funny reaction to that. I don't actually know if it's true or not, though. But these, whenever there's like a political debate with like these presidents, there's also like sort of, I don't know what you call them. There's like a sort of like a jury, and they're just like, if something's like not right or something, or they kind of just like narrate. They kind of narrate the debates. They're apparently, that's kind of what they do. And then eventually, what they did was they were taking over the mic, and they were saying like, there's absolutely no reports of people eating dogs in Springfield. But Donald Trump was like, well, I saw it on the news, which is not really the greatest source of information. I mean, he didn't say the news. He said television. I think he said. So I saw it on television, which is it's not really the best source of information right there. But I mean, I did see a lot of different tweets about that stuff, though, even a couple of days before that debate. So I actually don't know if it's true or not. But a lot of people do claim it to be true. There's like posts with like hundreds of thousands of likes that are actually talking about this dog eating activities from these immigrants. in that area. Which once again, I cannot confirm or deny anything here. I'm just saying what I saw. But yeah, if it's true or not, it's still up for debate, I guess. But these narrators there at the debate, they did not agree with Donald Trump on that. So he kind of got embarrassed there in that moment. And honestly, the whole debates, as far as I don't really know because once again I didn't really watch it, so I can't really form my own opinion on it. But I'm just going off what I see online mostly. And when we look at the Joe Biden and Trump debates, online there were a lot of memes about Joe Biden, kind of fumbling the debates, kind of not doing so good. And this time around, that was the same, but then with Trump. So as far as public perception goes, I definitely think that this debate was weak for Trump, especially because these memes like that, and people are also saying like that Joe Biden like passed his dementia onto Trump, and now that Trump is now the weak one, which is kind of sad. But yeah, this Kamala Harris just, I guess, played it pretty well because she definitely was trying to go viral. I feel like because she did like a lot of those funny faces and stuff. She was just trying to like paint Donald Trump as like a ridiculous guy, which in some cases might be true. But yeah, she definitely played it well, the debate, and definitely won in the eyes of the public opinion, as far as I could tell online. But also a lot of people are trying to say that like those like narrators and stuff are like rigging it, and that they're being extra hard on Trump. And I also saw this one thing about like the fact check, because they check like whatever each candidate is saying, and how much of it is true or not. And apparently Trump had like 30 false statements, and Kamala Harris had like one, which was kind of funny to see. But yeah, I don't know though. People are saying that they pick on Trump on purpose. Those narrators. Once again, I don't really know what they're actually called. There's just the people that like help like host the fucking debate. I guess they're like sitting there. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna call them narrators because I don't know what else to call them. But yeah, they just help with the debate and stuff. But yeah, but a lot of people do think that they are asking Trump like more stuff than they do Kamala, and they're kind of like rigging it. I don't know about that though. This is what I saw. But it was definitely a wild debate once again. I mean, like I said, it doesn't even feel like politics anymore. It just feels like a show. We got another episode of that show, and it was funny to see the clips and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Also, while we're on the topic of Trump and stuff, Trump almost there was also another assassination attempt on Trump, and I don't know if this really counts as an assassination attempt because he didn't even get hit or something. I don't even think the bullets were near him, but someone like pulled up to his like golfing range while Trump was out there golfing. And apparently shots were fired, around that golfing course, and apparently they were meant for Trump. The guy was trying to kill Trump, which is kind of wild that Trump now had like two people try to kill him, like genuinely. Yeah, I don't know if it counts as like an attempt because I don't think any of the bullets were like near him or something, but they definitely did go there to try and kill Trump. So that man is not safe at all. And it's kind of sad because of course, I mean, he's a presidential candidate, man. You can't just be killing people like that, man. Come on. And anyways, I mean that's kind of it though. Trump, it's kind of crazy how he had like these two assassination attempts. Because what the fuck, man? Like once it's already crazy enough, but then again, like it's got to be stopped, man. Anyways, that's all we want to talk about. That's all we want to say about these presidential things. Next up, man, there's been some crazy ass drama with KSI and DanTDM and Mr. Beast and Logan Paul, pretty much. And it all started when not DanTDM, when KSI, Mr. Beast, and Logan Paul announced a new brand called Lunchly, which is a Lunchables competitor. So basically like a little box of food that you can eat for like lunch. I guess it's like for kids mostly. So yeah, it's a Lunchables competitor. It's supposed to be like similar to that product. Yeah, I mean it's trash, right? Like I don't really like all this stuff, especially because of the people involved. Like Mr. Beast had just had, like I spoke about this on the last podcast episode. He's just had a very long string of allegations, on his working place and also about his channel, like faking videos, hiring like pedophiles and stuff. Like Mr. Beast is kind of like on the road to getting canceled there, but now he just instead of like doing something about that, um, he's just announcing a new brand, which is like basically just selling absolute dog shit food to kids, and people will just buy it and eat it because it has his name on it. So I mean, it's, instead of doing something about all these allegations that is coming out against him, and also I've actually seen allegations as well that his philanthropy is kind of faked. So it's another layer to the situation. But yeah, Mr. Beast has basically been in the bad light for quite some time. But instead of doing anything about that, he just starts a new brand with Logan Paul, who's also an absolute asshole and a scammer, by the way. He's a crypto scammer. Literally, he scammed people with crypto and still has not paid them back, even though he's been pressured into doing that for like a year at this point, more than a year. And he still has not paid any of the victims back that were involved in this crypto scam. And I don't know why Mr. Beast is collaborating with this guy. Logan Paul, I hate that motherfucker because he also got into controversy like in 2018 or something when he posted a YouTube video of literally like a dead person who killed themselves in like a suicide forest, and he got canceled very hard for that. But then he came back and he was like, okay, he learned from his mistakes, maybe he's cool again, and then he started doing that crypto scam, which he still has not paid the victims back for, which I just cannot respect at all. So I really think Logan is just like an absolute idiot, and he's also just down bad. Okay, like some of these people will do anything for their brand. Because Logan recently, I think he became a dad because I saw a video of his wife like in the giving not actually giving birth, like after that they're like holding the baby or some shit and like the hospital room, and Logan was out there with the fucking Lunchables, not Lunchables, Lunchly, within their new brand Lunchly. He had a Lunchly box with him right there to advertise his motherfucking fucking new Lunchly thing. While this is at the fucking birth of his child, like that's insane. At least I think it's his child. I'd assume so. So that's just down bad. I think it was his wife. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I saw. So that was just fucking dumb. So he's just a kind of a person like that. He'll always promote his brands and stuff, which is just kind of annoying and just kind of weird. But yeah, so that's one thing though. The whole brand is one thing, and I don't really agree with it. It also features Prime, which is a hydration drink owned by KSI and Logan Paul, and also Feastables Chocolate, which is a chocolate brand owned by Mr. Beast. So they're kind of combining their two brands to make this new Lunchables competitor. And I used to think KSI was cool until he got involved with Logan Paul like that, because I don't know why he would just get involved with these fucking idiots. Okay, like Logan Paul, just bad reputation, man. He's just bad. He's an asshole. And then KSI getting involved with him like that, I just can't. I lost respect for KSI just due to that association like a while ago. But KSI has been going absolutely crazy about this shit because DanTDM, a very famous YouTuber, almost 30 million subscribers, a big OG, a very beloved YouTuber, he made a tweet saying, "What happened to YouTubers, man? I cannot say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better." So yeah, DanTDM was not really happy with this new brand of theirs, because once again they're just selling food, and it's not even healthy. Something's literally just awful fucking food. And they're selling it to kids, and once again DanTDM was just saying, man, like what happened to these YouTubers, like just selling this crap to kids. So it's all about the money pretty much, and not really trying to provide anything valuable. Now Logan Paul and Mr. Beast also responded to this. I don't know if Mr. Beast did it directly, because he's a bit smarter with that stuff. I think Logan Paul just made like a tiny statement. I can't really find it back, but he said, "I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spend our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't say anything on Lunchables' faces banished for allegedly containing a lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset. Then don't eat it." So apparently he's saying that Lunchly is better than Lunchables, which I mean I don't really know how true that is, but he was just giving a short statement here, about DanTDM's tweet, a short response. He also went kind of in on it more, but he didn't do anything that bad. Mr. Beast also made like a tweet talking about how they're trying to make it healthy or whatever. Kind of irrelevant. The main thing here is KSI's response, because posted. KSI posted, the first thing he did was post a picture of DanTDM's toys. There's like this U2s. U2s is like a brand that makes like toys for like YouTubers and stuff. And also some other brand. And he was saying that DanTDM's products are also crap, you know, which I don't know how you're comparing a literal toy to, you know, food that's like unhealthy. And it's also ironic because KSI literally has a U2's character himself, so he's selling the exact same things as DanTDM did. So for some reason he's trying to compare him selling this unhealthy food to kids to DanTDM selling toys in collaboration with a company that KSI has collaborated with himself too, and he even has a toy of that himself. So that was literally kind of hypocritical and like a very bad response. And then he also went on to find a 9-year-old video of DanTDM doing a one-time sponsorship with of a box of candy, where it was just like DanTDM was like doing some video 9 years ago, mind you, 9 years ago, trying out different foods from across the world. I think he did like one of like Japan and stuff or whatever. He made a couple of videos on that, just trying different foods from across the world. And apparently in one of those he had a sponsorship of some food, and which was unhealthy. Okay, it was like kind of like candy stuff. And then KSI was saying like, "Man, you're a hypocrite. You did the same thing as me." But yeah, the video referenced once again it was 9 years ago, and it was a one-off sponsorship on DanTDM's second channel, and not even on his main channel. This is on his second channel, which is completely uncomparable to starting a whole company with some unhealthy food that you're advertising as healthy to kids. Okay, this is not comparable at all. And this whole drama started on September 16th. Okay, and it's currently October 5th, and KSI, 3+ weeks later, is still crying about DanTDM every single day, even though DanTDM made just one single tweet. It's one tweet. Not even that hateful or anything. He didn't call anyone out in particular. He was just saying that he was just criticizing them. And once again, Logan Paul and Mr. Beast also responded to that, but like in a kind of a light fashion. But KSI has been completely going crazy about this for over 3 weeks now, and everyone has been criticizing him. And he's received a lot of fucking hate, man. We're just gonna go through some of his tweets right now. And also, yeah. He was also comparing, I don't know if I'll talk about this actually. Marquise Brownlee released some sort of fucking app, which was pretty bad. I won't talk about that in further detail, but yeah, Marquise Brownlee made like an app for wallpapers, which was pretty poorly received, and also it was very expensive. And he was calling DanTDM a dumbass YouTuber, because KSI basically responded to a tweet about Marquise Brownlee launching this app. And then he quoted the DanTDM tweets, what happens to YouTubers. Some dumbass YouTuber said this exact same thing to me the other day. Rather than complaining, crying, and trying to cancel YouTuber for creating a product, here's an idea. If you don't want / like a product, just don't buy it. It's simple. That's what he said to Marquise Brownlee getting canceled for trying to sell an app, a wallpaper app, which was very bad. I mean, $50 a year for a subscription to a wallpaper app, to use wallpapers, kind of an L. But yeah, KSI was just saying, man, if you don't like it, then just don't buy it. And basically also just, quoting DanTDM once again and saying, just leave us alone. And if you don't care, then don't interact, I guess. Which, whatever. But he also made a fake apology. He said a lot has happened these past few days. So I'm here addressing everything below. And then he posted a link, which was not an apology at all. It was literally just a link to his new song, like a countdown to his new song. Because he also makes music, and that was also poorly received. Like everyone was just saying, what the fuck, bro, you're down bad, basically. Like it's saying he's gonna do an apology, and then the website is literally just a countdown for a song, because he just using this to get plays on this song. Basically, just using this as like clout, just to draw attention to his new song, which really went viral. For being just bad, right? People have been memeing this song to death. It just dropped like yesterday or 2 days ago. People think it's like trash. and there's been a lot of memes about it. Anyways, one thing that also happened on October 2nd, McDonald's teased a collaboration with Kai Cenat, and the KSI responded, DanTDM, where you at? 2 weeks fucking later. And he just keeps getting ratioed on Twitter. People are telling him, bro, he's living in your mind rent free, like getting like double his likes. And DanTDM literally made one post, and he was just KSI just keeps embarrassing himself talking about DanTDM. In another tweet, he even called him a pussy. And let's see what else he said. Okay, yesterday he said, "Ayo, DanTDM, why don't you come over to the Sidecast, which is KSI's podcast? Let's talk this out like men." Okay, once again, October 4th, DanTDM made one tweet on September 16th, and KSI has been constantly going at him for no reason. And he is also saying that the hate on his new song is forced. Well, it's not an amazing song. I mean, it's not that awful, but still. I mean, people are just hating on KSI right now for anything because he's just acting like a clown. And the last thing he currently said was 7 hours ago. He was replying to his own tweet about asking the NTDM to come on the podcast. And he said, no reply publicly or privately. It's obviously tweeted just for likes, interactions, and to be seen as a white knight. And before your stupid minions reply or meme me, you started this. I'm just trying to finish it. Like, he's just... Well, once again, it's been over 3 weeks, and KSI is still going crazy at DanTDM for making a single tweet, just giving fair criticism about, some stupid-ass fucking Lunchly brand that nobody gives a fuck about. And it's just sad, bro. It's sad to see KSI completely crash out over this. And once again, DanTDM is probably like the top 3 most beloved YouTubers on the platform. Okay, so like everyone has his back. Okay, like this is like the first time that DanTDM ever has gotten like involved in any sort of drama. Like he's a very beloved YouTuber, and everyone pretty much has his back. All right, so now everyone's just clowning on KSI because he's starting beef with DanTDM. Because DanTDM, he just made one tweet, which was fair criticism, and KSI completely went crazy about this, which is just, it was absolutely ridiculous to see how this guy is lashing out. And he's like over 30 years old and acting like this. Kind of sad. Anyways, man, I had a party in the, not at the beginning of the month, in like the middle of the month. I had a party on the 12th of September, I think it was, and my bike got stolen, okay? I got it back, but it was a wild story. So pretty much here in the Netherlands, what we do, we mostly just go on bikes, okay? This is our main form of transportation. I don't know why it ended up being that way. But yeah, in other countries, there's not really that much bikes, but here it's mostly bikes. Anyways, so I went to like this party of like my old high school, and my parents really wanted me to like chain my bike to like something so it wouldn't get stolen, right? So I did that. I don't really like carrying around a fucking chain like that to put my bike onto something so it doesn't go away because it's just annoying. And I don't know, I just don't really like doing it, but I did do it anyways just to make sure my bike didn't get stolen. So I found some rack and I just chained my bike to it, and then I go to the party. Right, it was a pretty good time. Just some old high school friends. We're just chilling. And then a couple hours later, I go back. It was like midnight, and the whole fucking bike rack was fucking gone. Okay, like I chained my shit to the fucking rack, and the entire rack was missing. And I was like, "What? Am I tripping, or what the fuck did just happen?" So I was confused as fuck. So I just went. What I eventually did that night, because of course the bike was gone. I could not just get it back suddenly. So we just went out in the city, me and my friend and some other guy from my old high school. We just went out in the city like on foot, and then eventually I had to like sit on the back of my friend's bike who brought me home, which was really, really painful, by the way. Like that shit really hurts your fucking ass. Like seriously, bro, that was very bad. But yeah, I did eventually make it home because my friend brought me home on his bike, just sitting on the back, and then we eventually found my bike. Okay, now it turns out what happened was that the rack that I put it in apparently belonged to a restaurant that was standing right next to it. And apparently the thing on the rack, there was a text that I did not read. And it was saying like, you can't park here if you're not part of the if you're not eating at the restaurant, we will remove your bike. But of course, because my bike was chained to it, it could not just be removed. So they literally, whenever the restaurant closed, I guess I don't know when it closes, but I guess it ended. I guess it closed before the party ended. So when I got back, they already put their things inside. So they literally just pulled the whole rack inside. And if my bike was not chained to it, they would have literally just put my bike out and like set it somewhere. But my bike was chained to it, so they had to carry my whole fucking bike inside with the rack. And my parents sent me a picture of it. Apparently, like the rack was literally just inside the fucking store, and they could see my bike through the window. But the party was on a Friday, I think. Yeah, and or a Saturday, and the restaurant didn't open until like Tuesday. So I didn't have my bike for a few days. Eventually, we did get it back a little earlier than Tuesday, but it was still funny as fuck though. Like, and my parents actually went to that restaurant where they put my bike in literally the day before, right? So like the day before, they had their bikes in that exact same rack that I had mine in, and the fucking rack that just got fucking carried inside, they were sitting in that restaurant the day before. So that was a coincidence. They literally were eating at that place, and then a day later, I my bike is stuck in that same place, which is just funny as fuck. But yeah, anyways, I didn't even want to, get a chain. I just wanted to fucking park my bike just on the side of the fucking street because I was like, whatever, it'll be fine. But some unexpected things happened, leading to my bike being stuck in a fucking restaurant. I just think it's funny because, of course, I had my shit chained to it, right? So I really wonder what, some employee was like, about to pull the rack inside, and they were like, these motherfuckers parked here again, while not eating here. So then he just there were probably multiple bikes in it, so he just pulled a couple out, and then he saw mine, and he was like, motherfucker, this guy has a fucking shit chained to it. So then he had to pull my shit inside completely. I feel bad for whoever had to do that. So my bad to that guy, but yeah, man. I mean, the whole street was already full, man. So if you want to chain your bike to something, of course, there has to be something to chain it to. And I couldn't really find anything. Like all these poles, like people were already chained to them, so I couldn't do that. It was an unfortunate situation, and it ended up in me just losing my fucking bike, the whole rack being gone. But then eventually I did get it back, so it was a happy ending. Anyways, last month on the podcast I talked about my getting a job, my journey to getting a job, and in 1 month a lot of things can change, right? That's what I've been kind of also experiencing with these podcasts. I've been doing it for like a year and a half now. And really every month it just feels like, it really is a whole new chapter in life, and especially this month because, in the beginning of last month, I really just did not have anything yet, or maybe I did. No, I'm not even sure because I found this job and then I got accepted into it. But then I suddenly got rejected. And I don't remember if that was before or after recording my previous podcast. So I don't know if I spoke about this already. If I already did, I'm just going to say it again. So basically what happened was I found a job somewhere, and they were like, hell yeah, man. Okay, you're in. All right, you can... we basically, you're hired, basically. That's what they told me. And but they were asking me if I had any other plans at that time. And I was like, yeah, okay. So they were asking if I had any other like job application, if I ever applied to some other place. And I currently, at that time, I had like a couple things that I also applied to. And they told me, okay, well, you're hired. But pretty much, I got accepted into that job, and they were telling me like, okay, you can check out those other things too, because I already had some appointments standing, for like job interviews at these other places too. And they told me like, okay, just go on those job interviews and call me next week when you've decided. So I thought I was in. I thought, okay, that job something that I have. They told me that I'm hired. I'm just gonna go on these other interviews too and see if it's fun or something. And then I'll just call them back next week if I don't find a better option, and then I can get started on the fucking job. So I called them back the week after because I went on those other interviews, and I was like, well, fuck it, let's just take the fucking job that I got. And they suddenly tell me that the fucking spot has been filled. Like, what? They literally told me to go on those other interviews and then let them know next week, and they filled the fucking spot. If they had told me that the spot might have gotten filled in that time, I would have never done those other interviews. I would have just instantly, been like, yeah, okay, let's fucking go. because I had to get a job like as soon as possible. But they were telling me like, okay, just do those other interviews too, and then make a decision. They were not like telling me as if I was in a rush or anything. They were just being very chill. Like, I thought I was completely fucking hired, bro. They did not tell me at all that there might have been a possibility that the job would not be available anymore. So apparently they fucking filled that spot, and that was very unfortunate news, because then I had to get another fucking job. Back to the fucking interviews. I had to start doing interviews again and just fucking search for something. When I thought I already had something, so that was kind of annoying. Once again, I don't know if I discussed it on the previous episode already or not. But yeah, it's an update on that. I did apply to a bunch of fucking jobs again. I went to a couple interviews, and I actually got hired somewhere. But it was kind of a scam, right? Like I'm working there right now. I'm currently in training, but once again, I applied to a couple places, and then I went on a couple job interviews, and then eventually I got accepted into two things, and then I had to make a decision, and I chose for this thing where I'm at right now. And the thing was, on the website for the job interview, it very clearly said that the training for this job starts on October 7th, okay? And I pull up there on like a couple weeks ago on a Wednesday. It was like a meet and greet, to see like your trainings group. And suddenly on the meet and greet, pretty sure, hold on, let me check the date real quick. This meet and greet was on the 19th, right? No, the 18th. The 18th of September, this meet and greet was. And up until that point, I was completely convinced that the training was going to start on October 7th, right? Because that's what it said in the job interview. So I pull up to the meeting on the 18th, the meet and greet, and suddenly I get the news that the motherfucking job training is already starting on the 23rd. Like, what the fuck? So suddenly it's like 3 fucking weeks earlier. Literally, hold on. 23rd, yeah. No, 2. I guess it's 2 full weeks. 2 fucking weeks earlier than advertised, okay? So I had a bunch of stuff planned already. I had some appointments planned the week after that, with my driving lesson as well, and something else. And suddenly I get to hear that whole week is just like I already start training. So I had to like cancel these appointments. And the thing is, that weekend, so the week after that, where I did start already, so the week of the 23rd, that weekend, my parents were actually going to go to, what was it this week? Actually, I already forgot. Actually, no. It was last weekend, yeah. So the weekend of the fucking 23rd, my parents were not home, right? So, and if you guys were there last year, were watching me last year my parents were not home for like a couple of days, and actually did a 24-hour stream, which was very hype. I still have not uploaded the VOD yet on my second channel, but I streamed for 24 hours straight, and it was a vibe, man. We had a good time. And now that my parents were leaving again, my plan was to also do another 24-hour stream, okay? And I was like, okay, the training starts October 7th. I'm going to be free all week. I'm going to have a couple more weeks to chill before my training starts. I'm going to do another 24-hour stream since my parents are gone, and it's going to be a good time. But then suddenly, that whole week is not free anymore, because suddenly the training starts 2 weeks earlier. And since I already had my driving lesson planned and stuff, I had to move my driving lesson, okay? I had a driving lesson planned somewhere in the middle of the week, but suddenly I had to move it since the training already started earlier than advertised. And basically, the 24-hour stream, I wanted to do it from Friday night to Saturday night. That was the plan, right? And even if I did have the training, I would still do it. I did it last year too when I had a fucking 9-to-5 job. Or internship. It was an internship. I had a 9-to-5 internship, and then when I came home, I just started the stream, and I just did it in the weekend like that. So I was going to do the same thing. I was going to go from Friday night to Saturday night, 24 hours. So yeah, but then suddenly I had to move my driving lesson, and my teacher put me on Saturday at 8 a.m. Okay, now, if you're trying to do a 24-hour stream from Friday night to Saturday night, that's going to be difficult if you suddenly have a fucking driving lesson at 8 a.m. on Saturday. So it was looking kind of bad, okay? Like, I was just like, oh my God. So I was just so like down at that point. So basically, just this whole thing with the job, basically false advertising the starting date, suddenly the starting date of the fucking job being 2 weeks earlier, um, it caused a whole like domino effect of just me having to move an appointment that I already made because I thought I was free the whole week, to that having to be in the middle of a 24-hour stream that I had planned, which I then had to cancel. Yeah, it was just a mess, man. So what I tried to do, I did actually think about it, instead of doing it from Friday night to Saturday night and going from Saturday to Sunday. And I did actually try it, and I did try it, yeah, and I did stream for like 8 hours, but I just did not feel like it anymore, to be honest. At that point, I just did not feel like it anymore. So I did stream for 8 hours on the Saturday. I did still plan on doing the 24, but then I just lost motivation, I guess. Because just from Friday night to Saturday night, it's so much more convenient, and it was just really in my schedule like that. And then to suddenly have to start on like the Saturday afternoon, I just was not feeling it pretty much. That also it came down to, so yeah, kind of ruined, like once again, like a domino effect at that point. But yeah, the job itself has been great. I guess. Well, I mean, I don't know, because I know what I do is like customer support for like a mobile company. The past couple of days have been great. Although the first week or so wasn't really that great, because the first week was like mainly like theory, right? Like I had to like learn a lot. I had to do like a lot of reading about the company and about how the systems work, because it's quite a lot of learning to use all these programs to max efficiency. Because when I get a call, people are going to ask about like stuff about the mobile company, right? And I'm going to need to know all this information, and I'm going to need to know where I can find this information, because they can call about like their payments to their subscriptions, or a lot of various other stuff. And it's just it's a lot of searching on the system, and it was just a lot of learning, okay, pretty much. And the learning part was pretty boring eventually. I mean, after a week of just learning, it gets pretty tiring. But we also did a couple of practice calls at that time. But when it really started this week Thursday, when we actually started like making actual calls just by ourselves, or like it was kind of, at first it wasn't duos, but actually we kind of like just went on to doing it solo. And there's still employees walking around, so that can help you with if you have questions, because of course a lot of things we do not know yet. Okay, so if we ever have a question, we can always just ask an expert. We can just put the customer on hold real quick in the call. We can just ask them, ask the expert, what to do in a situation. But there's like this page on our in our system, which is like one big page where like there's like information about every single thing. There's like hundreds of articles basically. Well, I don't know if it's hundreds, but like there's a lot of articles with a lot of text, and where we can basically, if we know where to search, and if we search well enough, we can basically find the answer to like every question in there. Sometimes you don't want to put the customer on hold for too long, so you do have to kind of speed up the process a bit. But as the longer you work there, the easier it goes, of course. But anyways, these past 2 days, because we started calling, actually doing calls on Thursday and Wednesday. No, not Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Those 2 days actually were pretty good. I actually quite enjoyed those. So we no longer have like all these like learnings about like the information about like the fucking programs and stuff. Now we're just doing the calls, which actually I enjoy quite a bit. So the job is actually, I didn't think I'd ever say this in my life, but the job is actually quite a W currently. Let's hope it stays that way, though. Of course, consistency is key, so hopefully it doesn't like become boring to me or something else in a couple of weeks. Hopefully it stays this way, because I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. Those calls are quite interesting. Of course, sometimes you get a couple crazy people on the line. Sometimes you get some mad people on the line, or just people that don't understand how it works. But it is what it is. And also, yeah, my group on the meet and greet day on the 18th, there were like 4 guys or something, 4 guys and like 7 girls. And then on the train, whenever the training actually started, there was only one other guy left. Okay, so there was just me and this other guy, and then 7 girls, which is kind of crazy. And those other guys are basically they're starting on a different day. So I don't know. I think one of them actually just quit. I actually don't know. I think they maybe just stopped, but. Turns out that those other people are still starting on like the October 7th, which was what was advertised, because apparently they couldn't do it earlier, so they went to a different group, which it kind of sucks. Now it was just me and one other guy, and that's 7 girls, which is kind of insane. But me and that other guy got along quite well until he fucking quit. Okay, like the other guy just quit. Literally yesterday, he just quit out of nowhere. Well, it was not out of nowhere, okay? I mean, he was a very nice guy. You know, he was I guess I could say he was my friend there. You know, we just hung out. He was always following me around. But yeah, he just really just did not really get it all that much, okay? Like, he just did not really understand how the system works. So even though we practiced with it a lot and we had to learn a lot about it, he still just did not really pick up on it all. So, you know, unfortunately, apparently, because we were calling in like duos, right? We were calling like with two. So we were like both wearing a headset, and we were doing like we were like switching between conversations. So like one conversation I would do, and then one conversation he would do, and just then listening to each other and kind of like, you know, doing it together. And just in the middle of all that, he was telling me like, man, I think I'm gonna quit. And I was like, bro, what? So basically, the next day he did not show up. You know what I mean? There's a bit more to the story, but the next day he just did not show up pretty much. Because he was telling me like, man, I think I'm gonna quit. And I was like, man, really? And he was like, nah, man, I think I'm gonna keep going. And I asked him that like 3 different times, and every time he had a different answer. And eventually, you know, the conclusion was that he's gonna think about it. And that was on Thursday. And then the next day he was just like not there. He literally just did not show up. So he's pretty much gone. So that was like my only friend I had there. Yeah, that is what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much the story right now. I mean, I'm having a good time at work. Although, you know, my only friend is gone now, so maybe he'll come back on Monday. Who knows? Yeah, the job, you know, once again, I'm having a pretty good time. I like doing the calls. It's pretty fun. So that's pretty much my situation right now. I'm currently still in training. It's gonna be 2 more weeks of training, and then I'm gonna be starting as like an actual employee. And yeah, that's quite exciting. But I guess you guys will all hear about that in the next episode, which is coming. Let's see, when's the next for Saturday? November 2nd. Okay, that's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. It's still gonna be you know, a whole month away. It's gonna be past Halloween. Okay, so it's gonna be interesting too. Anyways, man, yeah, for a job right now, I mean, I already said what I needed to say. Really, pretty good stuff. Having a decent time. You know, the working hours are quite long though. Currently, it's like from 9 to 5:30 p.m. So which is not too bad. Like 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. No, actually, it's 4:30 p.m. Yeah, so it's not that bad currently because we're still in training. But whenever I do actually start, it's gonna be like 8.5 hour work days, right? Because I'm working full time. You know, it's that time. I'm at that point in life where I got to do that stuff. So it is what it is, man. I'm officially like reaching Unk status because like people on the phone, because they're also like, you know, I'm helping people, of course, on the phone with the customer support, and also they're calling me like sir. They're calling me like sir, which is like it's kind of weird. It's a weird feeling, but anyways, man, yeah, having a decent time at the job. Maybe I'll talk about it a bit more in depth in the next episode. I don't know, but yeah, that's pretty much all I can say for today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. A good rest of your month, man. Good rest of the spooky month, you know, Halloween upcoming, and yeah. Also, my Adobe subscriptions ran out. I forgot to mention this, but there's not gonna be like an audio thingy if you're watching this on YouTube. You know, usually have like an audio thing where like the audio, whenever you talk, like there's like this thing that like moves. I don't even know what you call that, like audio wave thing. I don't know, but pretty much I lost my Adobe subscription, so that's currently not there. Maybe it will be fixed next month. I'm not sure. Okay, cannot make any promises on that, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. As always, you know, episode 18. Next time gonna be 19. Then in December it's gonna be a 20th episode. Okay, that's pretty hype. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next first Saturday of the month. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day, and see you.